What is going on, everybody? This is Josh, back again with another video. Now, today's video is going to be about 911 Season 3, Episode 9, and it's titled Fallout. Now, if you remember from last episode, Malfunction, that episode was like a cliffhanger. It was like, what the hell is going to happen with him? Now, if you haven't seen the last episode, or if you haven't seen today's episode, you should not watch this video because I'm going to drop a lot of spoilers on you, and I don't want to ruin it for you because this is a really good show to watch. So, Malfunction. Hen ends up hitting this girl on the streets, and, you know, she ends up killing her. You see a lot of emotion going through Hen, and you're on the verge of thinking, whose fault is it? Is it Hen's fault? Is it the girl's fault? And there was actually one person on my channel who commented, and it didn't even cross my mind. Now, her name is Deanna Lynn. I'm hoping I'm not pronouncing your name wrong, but she said that since the title of this episode is called Malfunction, that maybe the lights malfunction. And you actually end up finding out towards, you know, as you watch the episode, you end up finding out that the lights actually did malfunction. So all in reality, Hen is not to blame for this, but she does feel at fault. And to be honest, I was actually hoping to see a lot more emotion coming from her. Now, of course, she is sad. She is depressed. You can actually tell her, see it in her face. But, you know, I was hoping a little bit more. Like the emotion she gave off on Malfunction, I was hoping for something like that. But, you know, you don't get to see that in that episode. So let's just get started in the beginning. I'm already going too far off, so let's just get started in the beginning. Now, the beginning starts off like any other episode it always does. You end up getting a 911 phone call. Now, 911 likes to play some tricks on me because right when I saw this guy, you know, willing to mail in, he drops it off at the front porch. There's this old lady there. When the guy starts, you know, leaving the package there, I thought she was going to be a porch pirate. She was going to jack it and run off with it. Turns out she was just knocking on the door so, you know, the neighbors can actually find out that, you know, her package is there. I think she's a landlord. Now, when the girl opens the door, I thought she had some type of a virus or something like that. So I thought maybe this episode is going to be about a virus. And it turns out the only reason why her eyes are red and her nose is red is because she's been crying. So she's basically depressed. And what she ordered in the mail was a blanket that it weighs a lot. So it's basically making you feel like somebody's hugging you the whole time or somebody's just holding you down the whole time. So she decided just to get that blanket and just lay in her bed or lay on the couch the whole time. So something ends up coming through the roof. Now, at first thoughts, I thought maybe it's some kids playing with some rocket launchers and they did something with it. Like they added more firecrackers in there, or they added something with it. And that's why it ended up going through the roof. So right when it goes through the roof, it ends up hitting the girl who's laying on that couch. Now, I didn't know exactly where it hit her, so I was waiting for it to come up. And it actually hit her like straight in the stomach. It looks like in the lower abdomen. It missed her spine, it missed her spleen. It basically missed everything. And she actually wasn't in that much pain. Now, the main reason why was because it looks like it was a meteor that actually hit her in the stomach. As it's going down, it doesn't show you, but you hear Buck and you hear Chim talk about how since it was so hot, it cauterized the arteries, you know, whatever blood vessel that was there, it cauterized them. That way she wouldn't bleed out. So her pain level wasn't all that. And I was actually surprised that it was an actual meteor. I was expecting something different. And I don't know, it was crazy. So you do see Hen in therapy. It looks like she's talking to her therapist, trying to, you know, open up. This is where you end up finding out that Maddie and Eddie are still in therapy. Now, Maddie is going there because of, you know, she killed her husband. And Eddie is going there because it looks like he's always angry. And that's why he did this whole Fight Club thing. And he almost killed a guy. So it doesn't look like Eddie is going to do that anymore. So I guess he's seeing a therapist to maybe work out some anger issues, and Maddie's seeing a therapist so she can work out whatever issues she has with killing her ex-husband. And Hen is actually seeing this therapist to, you know, she's having issues with the killing of that girl. And, you know, I was expecting a little bit more emotion from this, but you don't really get to see that. Now we finally go to the scene where Bobby ends up seeing Hen, and he tells her that it's not her fault. The lights malfunction, so basically Hen's lights were good, and she did press that button. I don't know what type of, I guess maybe it like rings the sirens a lot more louder so everybody can hear. She did press that button, and that girl's lights weren't working, like the street lights. They weren't working, and that's what caused this whole accident. So it's the city's fault, I would probably say. And most likely, if it ever goes, you know, if it goes on to more into it, I'm pretty sure the city would get sued. You know, the family would get a lot of money. But you know, that's not even, that has nothing to do with 911. But you know, you find out that Hen is not to blame for this accident, but she still takes it a lot because she killed the girl. So every single time she closes her eyes, she mentions that she sees her. But I mean, I was hoping for more emotions, really. I really was hoping for more emotions. The person who plays Hen, she's an amazing actress. I've seen her in a couple of seasons in other TV shows. She's amazing. And I just was expecting more. So it looks like Maddie is actually able to return to work after she's already gone through her whole, you know, therapy session. She's able to go to work, and I know that that girl who she was stalking, Tara, I know that whenever, you know, she kind of like left off the scene, she was going to come back. I knew for a fact that she was going to call Maddie, or a 911 dispatcher was going to like route the phone call. Or maybe she was just going to end up getting a phone call where she ends up being killed by her husband. Something was going to happen where she was going to come back into the picture. And that's exactly what happens during this episode. She ends up calling Maddie at the 911 office. But she calls her on her cell phone directly. She tells her, please come over because something bad has happened. Now, right when I hear that, automatically I know she killed her husband. That's the first thing that came to my mind. This guy's dead. She did something. She either shot him, stabbed him. She did something where she actually killed this guy. Now, I thought maybe, you know, the guy was laying on the bed. She goes up to him with a shotgun and shoots him. And, you know, Tara ends up opening that door. She's all bloodied up. She has a black eye, and she's actually holding a gun. So right away, my thoughts already came true. She shot the guy. The guy's dead. Maddie ends up going in there, and it turns out that he's actually not dead. It looks like she shot him like on the collarbone or the shoulder. So he's actually alive. But, you know, if Maddie doesn't help out, then he's going to die. Maddie ends up trying to help him out. You know, she's telling Tara, whatever her name is, she's telling her to call the ambulance. She doesn't want to do it because of this whole situation that's happening. Finally, she gets into it. They call the ambulance. They end up coming over. They help out. And the emotion that Maddie gave off, I actually like this one a lot because she was actually tearing up. And I haven't seen Maddie tear up like this until, you know, if you go back on season 2 when she killed her husband, you get to see that type of emotion happening again. Now, this is one thing that I thought was like, of course it's typical. You hear this a lot when you hear about domestic violence. The guy ends up getting taken into a stretcher, and it's like his wife is still by his side. No matter what happened, she's still there. And it looks like most likely they're going to end up trying to work things out. I doubt it's going to work out, but, you know, she's giving off that impression that she's going to work things out because she's holding his hand. And, you know, they end up taking him to the hospital. Okay, so now you see Hen. She ends up going on a retreat kind of thing. She ends up seeing this one woman who she said is the whole reason why she became a paramedic. I was hoping that it actually showed a scene of why she became a paramedic. Like, what did she do with this lady that made her become a paramedic? Like, what happened? I feel like maybe this actually got explained a long time ago in a couple of episodes. But since 911's been dropping a lot of stuff, I gotta try to keep up with everything. So Maybe I missed it. Let me know in the comments if maybe I did miss it. Maybe it's in the one certain episode. I'll go back and watch it. That way I can try to refresh my memory. But I was actually hoping that it showed something that happened to this lady, and that's why Hen ended up becoming a paramedic. I feel like it actually did happen. I felt like the flashback did come in, you know, earlier episodes. I just can't remember. So let me know. So this is that scene where Maddie ends up going to the hospital, and the police officer goes up to tell her that she can go. He doesn't need a statement because the husband says that he shot himself and, you know, it was all by accident. So, I mean, yet they're not explaining how Tara or Tara ended up getting those black eyes. They're not explaining that. I thought that was like, that was stupid. Like, they could have explained that a little bit more. Of course she's going to have like the gunpowder residue on her. They just dropped the ball on this part. But Maddie did see that Tara is still going to be with her husband no matter what. So it seems like she's like, you know what, I'm just done with you. You want to go with him? Go ahead, be with him. I'm not going to be a part of it. And that's the type of vibe she gave off. Alright, so in my opinion, this is actually a really important scene. Now, you end up having truck drivers who are transporting some type of chemicals, and it looks like the company that they're working for is cutting corners because now they're transporting radioactive material. Right when I saw that, I knew something bad was going to happen. Of course, it's 911, something always bad happens. I figured they were going to call 911 and they were going to situate this whole issue. That's not what happens. They continue to drive off. The main truck driver, the old guy, he ends up getting distracted because he's telling the rookie, basically, that they're cutting corners. They end up getting into a whole car accident. The guy ends up hitting, looks like a roadblock or something like that on the side of the road. He ends up hitting it, jumps up, and the car jumps up. And there's just fire everywhere. And this is fire that I haven't seen before. You actually end up seeing white fire. I've never seen that before, which was actually pretty cool to see. But right when I saw that, I figured something bad was going to happen. Either it was going to explode and they were going to have to quarantine the whole area. But, you know, Bobby is able to get there in time with his team, and he's able to save that guy who basically got thrown out the window. He looks kind of beat up too. I mean, his face is whole jacked. So they're able to get him out to the stretcher. It looks like they're able to save his life. And Bobby is still over there trying to save that guy in the truck, the old guy. The guy ends up telling him that it's not only magnesium that's being transported in this, it's also radioactive material. Bobby ends up telling his team, you guys need to go back. They need to bring hazmat team and then like a nitro hydrogen machine or truck, something like that. They end up having to bring it. Now there's a lot of like steam or smoke or something like that that's just being blown everywhere. And you see something on Bobby's suit turn red. It was like an indicator. It was green at first and then it turned red. I don't know if maybe that was an indicator of he doesn't have any more oxygen in there. And now he's breathing in all those chemicals. He's able to save that guy. But I think he's exposed himself to so much radiation. I think he's going to end up getting lung cancer or some type of cancer that's just going to most likely make him die. Now, I'm hoping they don't kill off Bobby in season 3. I'm hoping he continues to stay on. Maybe they get something that'll help him out. Maybe he doesn't catch anything. But I kind of feel like they're going to end up giving him cancer from this whole radioactive thing. But I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Now, of course, Bobby does go to the hospital. They end up going through this whole radioactive decontamination stuff. And it doesn't look like he's worried, but Athena is actually worried for him. But, you know, I kind of feel like something bad is going to happen to Bobby. Now, one thing that I did like towards the end of the episode was when you saw Hen, it looks like she's coming back to being herself again. It looks like she's a little bit more happy. She's accepting what happened, and she's going behind the wheel of the ambulance again. I kind of feel like maybe the family of that girl is going to get in Hen's face, trying to put the blame on her, even though it's not her fault. I kind of feel like they're going to come back, but I don't know. In all honesty, I actually like this episode, but I think that, you know, they kind of dropped the ball on some of this stuff. I kind of felt like Hen should have gave off a little bit more of emotions. The stuff that happened with Maddie, the cops dropped it too easy. The stuff that happened with Bobby, I'm hoping that he ends up not getting lung cancer or some type of cancer that he can't be in the TV show no more. I don't know. I felt like this episode, it was good. It just wasn't as good as last week's. Maybe it's because my expectations were too high. So, I don't know. I definitely can't wait until the next episode that comes out. I think it's titled Christmas Spirits. So you know for sure something bad is going to happen, and I cannot wait to review it. So keep in tune to this channel. I'm definitely going to review all 911s for sure. If there's something you want me to check out, just leave it in the comments and I'll definitely look it up. Don't forget to like this video, comment, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.